Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But first, the usual rant and then the disclaimers. Why am I coming to you so late on a Monday? I took today off because I didn't get to have my 5 hours to go see my mom, even though she had the ticket for me, so now I have to pay her back. So fucking thank you, work. Sorry. I enjoy my job sometimes. Okay. Yesterday I went on a rant. As you all know who've watched my videos. I want to delve into that a little bit. Where that comes from, folks, is we marginalized communities, especially the disabled community and the troubled teen industry community of survivors, were tired. We are very tired. We are tired of having to compete with celebrity mudslinging contests. We're tired of having to compete with the likes of liars like AH. We're tired of having to compete with performance activism. We're tired, folks. We've been trying and motherfucking trying to get the news out there of what's going on in real places throughout the world for years and years and years on end, and barely being able to get the ear of any media. Our few moments in the sun literally last that long. Moments. And while the fight continues, you all act like everything's gone back to normal. It hasn't. These places are still being opened by the day. Kids, disabled and otherwise, are still being tortured. You literally have celebrities on the level of Paris fucking Hilton. And if you remember the early 2000s and the late 90s, the media used to be 6 inches up her ass for everything that she did for years. She comes out to speak against the troubled teen industry. Maybe a clip. About 5 seconds in the media. And then fucking crickets. We are wondering, as these communities and advocates and allies who've been in the trenches for more years than we care to count, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? We are beyond exhausted. Some of us have been fighting for decades on end. We keep wondering, what is it going to take? You know? And a lot of that frustration that came out of that rant, a lot of that anger, a lot of that venom that came spewing out of my mouth, nonetheless, all of it's true. We have allowed, as a society, as a whole, for celebrity culture and Hollywood and all that comes with it to take us over as a society to the point that we are ignoring real world shit. We jump to international problems before we see the torture that's going on in our own backyard. You know what I'm saying? We're exhausted, folks. These things need your attention. They need your help. We have politicians receiving donations from places like the JRC and Agape to stay alive. These are newsworthy things. And they get nothing? Not even during an election cycle when one bastard is trying to go to Washington who has dropped the ball so spectacularly in protecting the kids of this fucking state. It's sad, but he's still ahead in the polls because you people seem to care more about your Christian politics than you give a damn about the fact that Christianity is being used as an excuse to save and protect pedophiles. You know what I'm saying? Stop preaching. Stop your epithets. Stop your Hoya down self-righteous stupidity. And start paying attention. Sorry. We're tired, folks. We are tired. We have been fighting the JRC literally since 1986. 1986. We're going on nearly 40 years. Advocates have been fighting and survivors have been fighting the fucking agape school for nearly 30 years. People have been fighting against the institutions and their offshoots for even longer than that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, good. And speaking of which, to the usual disclaimers, folks. In the description box, you're going to find the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by Autistics for Autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Center's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused. So you know the drill, folks. Please read it and share it on all your social media. You're also going to see NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, just in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. We also have all the pertinent links to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that has, and pending, over 21 substantiated claims and lawsuits leveled against it that are alleging child abuse, sexual abuse of minors, sodomy, starvation, and yes, even child trafficking. We've had one former staff arrested by the FBI. Another is now registered with the state child predator list. We've had another, a doctor, who's still on the premises when I say it needs your attention, with access to the students that are left there, that is up on multiple, substantiated by the Department of Social Services investigation, multiple counts of sodomy and sexual abuse against the students there. We have an attorney general who'd rather go to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ass than to stay in Missouri, do his fucking job, close that school down, and get those kids to safety. An attorney general who has actually lodged a petition so that the survivors don't get to do their depositions and tell their story in regards to this case. Yeah, that's been a thing. Tell me this isn't corrupt. Folks, we need your help, so please, linked in there is every single news article and newscast we've gone over so far in regards to this situation. Please share on all your social media. Please sign the linked change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition and share on all your social media as well. We got the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign too, going now on to fucking decades, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive of receipts, also known as the Living Archive. We also have the templates and the ever-present and self-explanatory Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, please go ahead and use your headphones, all right? Also, this channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity and we talk about dark subjects. If your child is 16 or younger, parental supervision is obviously advised. It is 11:09, folks, and yes, I'm running late this morning, but I'm still not entirely awake, and obviously I am pissed off and tired. So damn tired, you all have no idea. No idea. So if I stumble over my words, folks, apologies in advance, all right? Okay. Now, I'm going to link some of the folks who've been fighting agape in this particular video thread, because I want them to be aware of what's going on at the Judge Rotenberg Center. Because more often than not, the only people who help us is us. So, before we get in today's paragraph, trigger warning. What you are about to see is incredibly disturbing. Many of the folks who already follow me on this channel for this subject already know about it, but for those I am tagging today on Twitter, this is going to be incredibly disturbing, traumatizing, and probably triggering for you. But please, please, please watch, okay? All right? Okay. So those of us who know me and know this channel already know this particular video. This is what happened in 2002 to a student by the name of Andre McCollins at the JRC. To give you context, JRC uses painful skin shocks, a device called the GED created by Matthew Israel in order to cause autistics and other different people with disabilities and mental health issues pain and suffering, to punish us for our behaviors. You're about to see what that looks like. All right. I gotta find the particular video here, so forgive me for a second. As you can see, we've been fighting this a very, very, very long time. Gotta find the exact one here. As you notice all of this. Bury a blip on the radar. Sorry, this is taking a minute. I can't believe this is taking a minute.
Client screaming out in pain at the Judge Rotenberg Center, and he is tied down and shocked for hours. Fox Undercover bringing you the exclusive video as it's played in court during a civil lawsuit filed against the center by the former client. Investigative reporter Mike Bodette is here with us this morning to talk more about this case. And Mike, this is the video that the Judge Rotenberg Center didn't want out in the public eye, right? They didn't want it out there at all. In fact, they got it sealed by court order 8 years ago, so it couldn't be released. And then even yesterday in court, our camera was set up. We knew it was going to be played, and the center's attorney, again, the attorneys argued that don't let this camera record it. The judge said, no, this is an open court, and the camera can record it. And now, finally, despite their efforts to keep it hidden, to keep it secret, the video's out there. You've been investigating this case for over a year now. What can you tell us about the young man in the video, Andre McCollums? Andre McCollums, he was 18 years old at the time. He had been in a number of centers. And what's interesting here is that the mother testified yesterday in court that the reason she went to the Rotenberg Center is because she felt comfortable with all the cameras. There's cameras everywhere in there, as we can see in the video, the camera capturing him there. And he had some issues at a previous center, so she's felt comfortable going there. But he does have both behavioral and mental issues, and that's why he ended up going to the center. Judge Rotenberg Center have been carrying out these kind of shock treatments for years now, and that in and of itself has been controversial for years too. Very controversial, and it's also interesting that the jury isn't going to get all the information out there. If you recall, the center's founder, Matthew Israel, was indicted by the Attorney General's office a couple of years back. Why? Well, because the center erased video, allegedly, of a case that was being investigated. So again, talking about this video that they apparently didn't want out there in that case. Either the AG's office in that case agreed not to prosecute if Dr. Israel stepped down. Mother's calling this torture. The Rotenberg Center says, no, this is treatment. But that's kind of a wide range of definitions there. It is, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in court because we only saw a few snippets there of the video. This video goes on, Gene, for about...
And I'm fast for it because I want you to see.
Attorneys and the attorneys representing the other doctors there are going to go piece by piece through this and say, look, this is treatment. They insist that this is treatment. And they also point out that Mrs. McCollins signed off to have her son subjected to electric shocks. Now, she says, hey, I signed off on it, but I didn't think this is what I was signing off for. So it is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We hear Andre McCollins screaming on the video. Do we hear anything else at all? Well, a very interesting thing came up in court yesterday as the mother testified, and the lawyer asked her, what else do you hear there? And she says, I can hear the staff members in that room while her son is on the floor receiving these shocks laughing. So she actually says they're laughing, which again goes to what the heck was going on in there. Now, the trial's underway in Norfolk Superior Court. Opening statements yesterday. Can we expect more of this video is going to be played today? Absolutely. We are expecting an expert for Mrs. McCollins' side, Andre McCollins' side, to get up there, and the attorney representing the McCollins actually going through the tape. So we are expecting to see a lot more of this video played out. Trial expected to last at least a couple of weeks. And I know this isn't something that's focusing on the case right now, but we've had some lawmakers who have been very concerned about what goes on there. Potential that this case, the outcome of this case, may lead to this type of treatment being banned overall in Massachusetts. We'll see. New York has already said people cannot be subjected from New York to this, and the Rotenberg Center is appealing that. Massachusetts also passed a regulation saying that new people going in there cannot be subjected to it, although the Rotenberg Center says that doesn't apply, and they're...
Sorry, folks. Let me go ahead. I want to get you... That doesn't really give you the whole impact of the video. But yeah. That was about a rally. Here. These are linked, by the way.
Hey, it's Adam from StreamYard.
Sorry
We
about
have an
that.
exciting new feature to announce called Green Room, which is now available only on the business plan. Green Room is
their behavior. Even the wildest animals are not. You're the attorney for the school. If this works, why is no other school in the country, and we can't find anyone else in the world using it?
The schools that say they don't use it and that treat the tough kids with the very difficult behavioral disordered students that they can't treat without the answer your question. You wouldn't perform any treatment on a prisoner if they didn't need it. You wouldn't do dentistry. You wouldn't give them chemotherapy. You wouldn't amputate a limb. You don't give any treatment to a prisoner that doesn't need it. You give treatment to someone who needs the treatment. The students at JRC, the clients at JRC, they've been tried in all these other programs that the doctor's talking about. They were expelled from.
All right, I wanted you all to see that. I know it's going to be very triggering for you, and I apologize for that, but we need your help. So let me move on to the next sentence of this. Here we go. Okay. If there are specific instances whose recording someone has requested to be saved, those instances may be saved for an indefinite period. Residential supervisors and staff are responsible for immediately notifying the director of assistant director of residence or the weekend school coordinator and the director of information technology whenever a problem is detected with the DVR system. Such notification should be made outside of the presence of the students so as to not inform the students of the DVR system is not working properly. Every effort will be made to fix the problem as soon as possible. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. No, we need to know the students to know that they're never safe. We need the students to know that they never will get a moment's peace. We need the students to know that we can torture them, like you just saw in that video, at a moment's notice, at any time, whether they're alone in their bedrooms, in the showers, taking a shit in a bathroom stall. Yeah. The JRC school buses and many of the JRC vans are also equipped with DVR systems. The assigned bus monitor is responsible for ensuring that the equipment is working. And here we go again, because we want those students shocked and tortured on their way to school. How do you bastards sleep at night? JRC makes every effort to respect the privacy of its students when using the DVR system. How the fuck can you even say that? No, I'm gonna go off on this. We'll get on this paragraph tomorrow. How can you look me in the fucking face when you have camera in their rooms on while they're dressing and undressing? Cameras in the stalls where they are naked and showering. Cameras in the fucking bathroom stalls when they're taking a shit. And then you come here and you tell me with your whole goddamn chest that you respect their privacy. When you got literally cameras in the residences, in the bathrooms, with someone watching at all times, but you respect their privacy. Let me tell you the truth on that one. JRC respect these kids' privacy when it's beneficial to them. Excuse me. What I mean by that? Let me tell you. That means the JRC will use the respect their privacy when a court will demand to have documents to be brought up on the student in regards to more details about their treatment. Then they'll respect their privacy. They'll respect their privacy and try to destroy footage of their so-called treatments when it is demanded of them during an active investigation of the crimes that they commit behind closed doors. JRC respects their students' privacy when it's beneficial to them, not when it's beneficial to the student. They use it as an excuse to hold back vital evidence of what's actually going on behind closed doors. If they actually respected these kids' privacy, they wouldn't be watching them dress and undress in their rooms. They wouldn't have cameras watch them while they're naked in their bathroom stalls. They wouldn't have a camera installed in the kids' bathroom in the residences that they live in. They wouldn't have monitors watching those kids 24/7. You do not need a camera watching while you take a shit, folks. If that was done in a regular public school, what do you think would happen? But it's okay, because it's treatment, and after all, us autistics and disabled people are just animals, right? That's what I'm saying here, folks. That's what I'm saying here. This is what we're up against. We are up against a community that believes that people like me deserve to be treated with less respect and dignity than we treat animals. We fight and go to war with these bastards over shock collars for animals, but when it comes to us, well, if it's called treatment, then you can get away with whatever the fuck you want to do to us, and nobody says a damn thing. You see why we're tired, folks? 6 of our own are dead at the hands of this school. 6. If you so much as spank a kid these days in a public school system, then it's a neurotypical kid. There comes out the torches and the pitchforks. You see what I mean? Think on what you stand for. Think on why you neurotypicals would rather team pick for whatever new mudslinging contest is in Hollywood or Washington instead of actually getting behind real victims. I'm going to close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject, and a few that we do tend to get removed from time to time, so please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.